This is Matthew Kratter's Bitcoin University. Today I want to talk about why even criminals don't like Monero. We've been covering the big Bybit hack where North Korean hackers stole $1.4 billion worth of Ethereum from this exchange. And if there were ever a case for privacy coins, you would think that this would be the one. Here we have a sophisticated nation-state level attacker who needs a good place for its ill-gotten gains. They obviously don't want to leave it in Ethereum in case Vitalik and the Ethereum Foundation try to fork them over and basically fork them out of their coins, as I've been advocating for in this tweet that's done a little bit tongue-in-cheek just to show that there are problems with money with single points of failure like Ethereum. The tweet goes like this: if Vitalik and the Ethereum Foundation don't push through a hard fork to defund these North Korean hackers, they need to be held responsible for aiding and abetting global terrorism. Again, this is somewhat tongue-in-cheek. I don't actually want these people to go to jail, but it does point out that when you're running a money that's only a little bit decentralized like Ethereum, you can really run into problems. And so Vitalik and the Ethereum Foundation, I definitely do not envy them. They're in between a rock and a hard place here, as they probably deserve to be. Now back to Monero. If you're a Monero bro, at least you're used to losing. Your crypto's been delisted for most exchanges worldwide, so it's not even good as a Trojan horse. Here's when Monero was delisted from Binance back in February of 2024. If you're a Monero bro, your coin is much less popular than even dog coins. We have Monero here at just 28 for its market cap. That's well below Bcash, and it's well below coins like Shiba Inu and Doge. So you're less popular than Bcash or dog coins, and you've been getting poorer relative to Bitcoiners for years and years and years. Here's the exchange rate for Monero versus Bitcoin. As the chart moves down, we can see Bitcoin strengthening at the expense of Monero. But at least with this North Korean hack, today is your day to shine, Monero. It's privacy coin time. Let's see what happens. Just in, North Korea's Lazarus Group is moving stolen ETH from Bybit to Chainflip to convert to Bitcoin. Chainflip says it has limited some front-end services, but can't fully block transactions as a decentralized protocol. Monero bros, really, when you think about it, they're a lot like Charlie Brown. They're never going to get to kick the ball, but they still haven't figured it out yet. They think the next time is going to be what vindicates them. Now, there are a few reasons why the attackers chose to convert their ETH into Bitcoin instead of Monero. For example, if you have $1.4 billion of stolen ETH, it's impossible to fit that elephant inside of the mouse that is Monero with its measly $4.3 billion market cap. $1.4 billion is just too large of that market cap. It would really distort the price, and there's just not liquidity to accommodate it. Liquidity matters. This is very important to realize. And when you have liquidity, you end up with more liquidity because liquidity attracts liquidity. What else matters? Censorship resistance matters too. It looks like the Bybit hackers may have converted some of their ETH to Tether, to USDT stablecoins, but that of course gets frozen by Tether, as it probably should be as a regulated service. So there are very few places you can stash this, and there are very few places where the chain is not going to be somehow forked or rolled back, as Parker Lewis reminds us here. Reminder, when Binance's hot wallet was hacked for $40 million, this was a few years back, CZ first suggested reorging Bitcoin, effectively rolling back the chain, then said that they decided against that, then admitted that it wasn't possible, which was always the truth, something not true of any other crypto. To put this to bed, as CZ writes here, it's not possible. Bitcoin ledger is the most immutable ledger on the planet. Done. So we can see here why the North Korean hackers chose the best money in the world. There really is no second best. And when you take a look at the whole list of cryptocurrencies here, you have Ethereum, which they stole. You have XRP, a centralized corporate coin, where you have a corporation that basically tells you which nodes are valid and controls the ledger. It has this huge pre-mine. You have Tether, which is basically US dollars, highly regulated. You have an exchange coin like BNB. You have Solana, which is a VC coin. Then you have another US dollar stable coin. Then you have Dogecoin. You're going to really roll your winnings into a dog coin. You have Cardano, which is a complete joke. You have Tron, etc., etc. So there are really no choices. You can see why Bitcoin is at the top here, why there is no second best, and why the hackers chose to move their winnings into Bitcoin rather than leaving it in Ethereum or moving it into some other cryptocurrency. I've said this many times on the channel, but this is a really good example of what I've been talking about, the fact that money is a winner-take-all game. Even today, every single major currency and some minor currencies as well are informally or formally pegged to the US dollar. So the world is still on a US dollar standard today, though it's rapidly unraveling. Now, what happens when US corporations like MicroStrategy, now called Strategy, when North Korean hackers, when philosopher-kings in Central America, when hippies in the jungle, when libertarians in New Hampshire, when oligarchs in Russia, in China, and when everyone else continues to converge on the same money? That's right, you end up with a Bitcoin standard. If you still think it's going to be an Ethereum standard, a Monero standard, a Caspa standard, you really haven't been paying attention. I want to finish up here with a couple questions that viewers had about this tweet about forcing through a hard fork. Ferry177 said, I'm curious about your position on the following. What if it wasn't ETH that was stolen by the hackers, but Bitcoin? Would you still be in favor of a fork? And my response, I definitely would not be in favor of a fork in that case, but there's a big difference. ETH does hard forks all the time, unlike Bitcoin. So here I'm just asking ETH and the Ethereum Foundation to do what it normally does. There's no central control mechanism that makes it easy to push through a fork when it comes to Bitcoin. ETH forks effortlessly and has done many forks over the years, which shows how centralized the consensus is and how it's basically driven by Vitalik and a few other people. Another question here, what happens when they pressure Bitcoin to roll back or hard fork? This is another version of the same question. The answer is the same. There is no equivalent of the Ethereum Foundation or living active founder like Vitalik in the Bitcoin space. There's no single point of failure to apply pressure to. That's why Bitcoin is so special and unique. So that's really what stood behind this tweet, what I was trying to demonstrate in a humorous way. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe and like buttons. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.